camera speeding.
You rolling right now?
Can you pour me more? I just need a sip.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, cheers, bro. Yeah, this is 2020.
2020, yeah, for the thrill of it.
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
Dude, that was 2 years ago.
We'll put all the socials, we'll put everything on
Alright, hell yeah. This is a very Future type beat. I was just listening to Future on the way here to that new album. Yeah, I was listening to it for the first time and I was messing with it. Yeah, a lot of these types of beats.
Alright, I'd like to play this one as well.
Yeah.
This one's sick. I'm actually on this one, but my friend Thrill here made the beat, so we're just rolling with it.
This is pretty nice.
I should fucking...
Got 3 men aimed on the spot. There's 3 rappers that stay on the dot. Those lights don't come from the cops.
I made this one
Wait for the shots.
like probably
2019
to late 2018.
I remember when you showed me the beat for this.
Think about how I'm gonna murder this beat. Word is my credit, what I earned in the streets. Swerving a Jeep, curve and repeat. Learn how I do it like I'm working for free. I'm a cursed MC. Go real sad cause her purse empty. Throw that parking like an MVP. Heisman winner, you should envy me. All this money is tempting me. Your girl wanna fit in the lens with me. She friends with me. I can't talk shit cause she love with me. In bed she a freak. Give me head while I spread them cheeks. I'ma go viral, spread the disease. Spitting cold bars at 11 degrees. Feeling like Brady needs 7 rings. Needs 7 straps, needs 7 soldiers. February it's getting colder. Bangers only is getting bolder. Dropping records out of fucking nowhere. Amateur, don't even go there. Gosh, a beat like this is so rare that I had to sit back before I dropped that shit. Wrote 30 raps that I popped my shit. Got 3 men aimed on the spot. There's 3 rappers that stay on the dot.
Yeah, originally I had like a part and then we went with...
Oh yeah.
They do a good job.
Because I wanted it to be part of the album.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had no issue with it.
The place is
I
called.
got like a secret part on it.
It's this is the place right here. Thrillhouse. Now, you can see their address right there. You can press the hard key, okay? Yeah, that is the address.
That bitch on the beat. That bitch so sweet.
Scooby,
She
bro.
does switch up.
Yeah.
She just wanna know me. Got a model in
But anyway, yeah. So I've got Mr. Thrillhouse. Mr. Thrill. Can you introduce yourself to the people, please?
Yeah, man. I'm Thrillhouse. I'm from the same area that you are,
Well, that's how
Braven.
we met, yeah.
Yeah.
Burbs.
We do music together, dude. Like I am bangers only still, even though that's not much of a thing.
Yeah.
But like you're technically
I
not
got you.
bangers only.
Yeah, so I guess I'll...
Dude, that's some lore that you guys will have to get into sometime. Study up.
We'll clear that up for the people at one point, but I wanted to bring you in, obviously a close friend of mine, not just through proximity, but Thrill and I go way back in the music sphere as well. We met through a mutual friend that we made music with, and we still continue to this day. I think we kind of locked into a certain style that, you know, I'd like to rap over your beats, and then some of your beats will like I'll add to the beat and then go in with the vocals.
Yeah, you're like one of the only rappers, or like someone that likes to spit, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That make that I like to make beats too, because I like to make beats for people. You know what I mean? Like, cause I used to start making them just for me, and then once I met like Scooby, well, it's like I always knew Scooby though, obviously, but once I found out that he did music, then I started making beats for him.
All you wanted to do was saw some beats, yeah.
Yeah, and just I want to hear like that, like what people sound like on my beats. So, but and dude, you know what I mean. We just been in this. We've just never stopped.
Yeah,
so
and I think like
you'll take my bangers, like the Welcome Riders one, which is like some future type
the first
trap
song
stuff.
The first song we played was Welcome Riders off for the Thrill of It, which is Thrillhouse's debut mixtape album, whatever you want to call it. It's on streaming services for the Thrill of It. We'll put it in the description. But the second song was also, I think it's the next song on there. Is it the third song?
It's like the third song.
Yeah, it's called Matrix, and that was also a Thrillhouse beat, and I spit on that one. And then Scooby was the vocalist on both of those. A frequent and longtime collaborator of ours. So yeah, I just want to check in. We're broadcasting from the north side of Chicago today. Another miserable day as it was last week, and we literally just didn't beat the light again. But here we are, thrilled to be here, no pun intended, and we're just going to get into it. Yeah, I'm not going to keep track of these, but yeah, I'll probably have you back on at some point. We'll talk more because we're not going to cover everything. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think your production style is, or do you want to give like a list of artists or genres that you think maybe that you dive into?
Like at first it was really just like Cardi type beats, I guess. Mainly like Playboy Cardi. So I really mess with him.
Did you grow up on like Die Lit or like?
This is before Die Lit too, but like
so self-titled. Yeah.
Self-titled mainly, but just like trap music though, or just like rap beats. Like especially the whole SoundCloud scene with like young bands and
so
you know what I mean, like that whole sort of dream pop vibe, or not dream pop, but like
young lean, young band,
video game type beats.
Yeah,
you know. So, but I started making them, and I learned it really quickly. I got a cracked version of Logic, and so yeah, my style of beats was definitely that. Like I'm just trying to make bangers. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wanted to make some, and it's just kind
energetic.
of. And the thing is, like, it's just kind of whatever sounds cool to me, because it like I don't come in like wanting for something. It just becomes whatever I start like messing around with. So
yeah, I think that's where we kind of like our taste overlaps, because I know I make a lot of like more emotional shit, and like I definitely love to turn up, and like I feel like when I put vocals over a Thrillhouse track, it's just like it's pure energy.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about like our current stuff that we're working on right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you didn't grow up like playing any what kind of music background do you have, I guess?
No, I played the cello in.
You did, okay.
Middle school. Okay. Yeah, dude.
So you have a little.
So I mean, I guess that counts, but like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot that kind of quickly, but I mean, I always had GarageBand as a kid on my like mom's Mac, so like I knew how to do it, and like I knew how to at least operate like a saw or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you knew the basics, but like for me, it was like I wanted to record real instruments because that's all I knew how to do.
Oh yeah, for
Digital
sure.
was like came later. It seems like you always had GarageBand as almost like a video game. I hated GarageBand. Like I just always hated like the tiny screen. But even now, like Scooby makes beats on GarageBand. Yeah. So like
he just got Logic too.
He
so
literally he's leveling up. He's gonna have the shits. But
yeah, bro.
But yeah, so I guess we met through a music friend through school. And we just started hanging out, kicking it, making music, literally just spitballing ideas and like creative ideas, music ideas, visuals. We shot, what was the first music? I guess Smoke Gouda 2.
No.
Or what was the first music video that I guess I was in?
Was it Eastbound?
Eastbound, yeah. Okay, so Eastbound, you shot that, or
John shot it and I edited it.
You edited it, that's right.
Yeah.
Eastbound video will be in the description. Me and Scooby on that one. And then I guess there's Smoke Gouda 2, which is...
That's the most fulfilled one, I'd say.
That one is so... Yeah.
Epic, dude.
Yeah, I love that one. It's a whole multi-level story. We worked really hard on that one, and then I guess the Mars video, and partially Jeopardy. I guess just Mars, but yeah, Mars was
the latest.
Yeah, you filmed and edited a lot of that one, or edited the whole thing really. We'll throw it all in the description, but that's just current music that I am involved in with him, and then on my Spotify, a number of songs actually. Who you said Cardi? Who else? I mean, who else did you listen to growing up? Were you a rock kid? Did you get into hip hop late like I did?
As a kid, I liked like Kanye and like fucking Eminem.
Yeah.
In elementary school. Yeah, Eminem.
I would say Eminem was like Eminem and like very quickly after I got over Eminem quick, but he was pretty.
Yeah, same. Like elementary school, I think when middle school happened, I stopped. But I didn't really listen to rap until. I was always kind of into it in high school a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was never like kept up to date with it. I just liked the songs, or like I never listened to it by myself. And then, like later in high school, I started to like figure out the scene and like the artists like Future and Young Thug, and then I got into them. And then that's just like been my like crack, you know what I mean? So like
your influence as well, like I can hear.
Yeah, that's just the music I listen to. That's just like how I use music, because like people consume music differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I would use it.
I got you.
But also like Young Lean too is a big influence. Yeah, for sure. He's
definitely he's a guy that like I don't find myself going back to his music much, but I've just like done so much research on him, and like I was so into his music for like a short like period of mourning in my day.
Oh, really?
I was just like, I don't know, it's good sad boy shit. Like XXX is like another.
I was really into him too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like the off the wall shit that they would do, and like not just their vocals but their instrument or their production and their beats as well. Mm-hmm. When he got Ski Mask on there, it was crazy. You're also into obviously you went to school for film. Go ahead and explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, like I went to film school here at DePaul, Windy City, where we're shooting at. Because I've always been like into movies as a kid.
Yeah.
But like, when later in high school, I started to like figure out more about actually filmmaking and like movie. I was always sort of a little mini filmmaker that was kind of like always would make movies with my friends and stuff, but never made anything about it. And then I got into like actually watching movies and figuring out like what the scene is like with like foreign movies and all this shit and like older movies. And so I became just like a film nerd, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just went to DePaul for film school. I didn't go to DePaul initially to be a filmmaker, but I knew it was a good film school, and I was just like, it's kind of like, I'm not going to make it in the film world, but I just like, my freshman year there, I realized that like I knew more about like film than like the film students on my floor, so I was like, dude, I have to do it, and like I just went through a crazy like, just like perspective on life that was like, I'm not gonna not pursue it, right? So
kind of where you like change routes a little bit about.
Yeah, 100%, and I solidified like, you know, life would be a little bit more fun with a mission, you know. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna be a filmmaker director type, that writes and directs his own, actual feature films in the future. So like
I understand. So you also like you.
That's my main mission.
But I've seen you work behind the camera so much, and Isaac, our producer back here. Isaac,
you're a video.
He was saying like, it's you know it's all the same vein, but it's like separate crafts when you have like the guy behind the camera, the cinematographer, the guy doing the editing. Like it's all ties into the final product. But like I just know because like you're pretty good behind the camera, but you also edit. And you also are a vision like creative guy. Like you could write a script. You could do it all, in my opinion. Dude, is there any specific like?
Yeah, just to actually be a writer and then like direct it. Like, cause I can do editing, because I've done that my whole life. But like I'm just mainly a filmmaker. So, like, in the future, that's what I'll have editors and I'll be in the editing room and I'll know. Like what to do. I'm not a cinematographer type person either. Like I don't really know much about cameras as much as I should. like compared to a lot of people. You know what I mean? I'm mainly like, I know what I want, so I that's what crews are for. So it's like I know what I want to see, and like I have people that I trust that
at the
can
same
bring
time,
a
you
vision
have-
to life, and I have.
Yeah, you have the background from. It's not like you have to understand what's going on from a camera perspective, from a lighting perspective, from a production, whatever you want to say. But I think, to your point, that gives you a good all-around knowledge of that. So would you stay in Chicago to do that kind of stuff, or would you think LA is like kind of necessary?
No, I'm definitely moving out to LA because I also have like friends there.
Yeah.
So, I'm definitely doing that pretty soon, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, like.
Are you looking for jobs out there and then you're gonna bounce?
Yeah, I just have to soon. I've been here too long, so and I've been saying it that I've been gonna like go forever.
Yeah.
I've just been absorbing shit here because like, yeah, I'll just find a job in like, in the film industry and then figure a way up. Like it's really I just need to get the opportunity, which I will, and which I can.
I guess
me, dude.
like
to be able to make a movie, right?
Yeah.
So then when you make the movie, you just have to execute that. And just know that like what you execute is like really good. So like, I mean it's literally long. Like I'm like it's a mission type thing. So like, it could be like years of my life like working towards it. So like like decades. Like I might not hit it until 40s or something.
So when you say that, do you mean like?
Oh, excuse me, bro.
Dude, those 312s are. Shout out to Silent for the fucking IPAs. They're hitting hard right now.
Yeah.
Really, really gassing us up in multiple ways. But yeah, I just because I know we had Ranyar on here last week.
Yeah.
And so I asked him a couple questions about like what his direction was, and I know that he works a pretty baseline job right now. Like I was going to ask you are you looking for a certain entry level position in a studio somewhere, or like would you be gunning for a specific writing role or something?
I used to think that I was like a writer more than anything, but I'm not. Like that is so hard, dude.
Yeah.
That I just need to get the opportunity, like also notice the budget, right, and the crew and the people, to be able to make the movie. So, it really just getting the job to me only matters like if it's a job that helps further get that, So definitely a job in the film industry. So like I'm looking at like management companies and like not talent agencies, but like maybe casting or something, like just studios, production, anything in the like any entry level job. You know what I mean? Like not a job that there's like a ladder to climb.
Yeah.
And then I just like I'm not there yet, so like once I'm there, I'll know my thing. So yeah.
So yeah, that's
in LA. That's
kind of what Ranyar was saying though.
Yeah.
He kind of not settle, but like he kind of get his foot in the door in a way.
Yeah.
And I think of you two as like kind of similar people, just creatively, actually, just on a very creative level. We were talking about his videos and stuff like that, but no. So what we talked about like musical influences. Do you have visual, audio visual, like movie influences as well? Favorite directors, favorite films that you come back to or anything like that?
Yeah, throughout my whole like life or even filmmaking journey, I've always just had multiple very influential like figures to follow. You know what I mean? Like David, I was just talking about, I just introduced one of my friends to David Lynch, and David Lynch was a big one. So very surrealist American filmmaker. He taught me where ideas come from. Okay. And to just trust the ideas, that like the ideas just no one knows where ideas come from. They just appear and you have to fish and catch them, right? Yeah. And he taught me a lot about creativity. Paul Thomas Anderson was one of my favorites growing up. He's a great American filmmaker. He's so chill. Like I know him, he's like the chillest person. Okay. Is he still alive? Yeah, dude. He's one that's still making great movies. Wow. He's married to Maya Rudolph, if you know who she is. Oh yeah. Okay. Damn. Shit. Dude, so many like old people like that are dead, like Tarkovsky. Dude, I like Harmony Korine. I like. Dude, I have so many. It's hard. So. thing is like, yeah, I don't try and like say, oh, I'm influenced by these people, so I'm gonna make something like them. It's just kind of like each person has taught me something specific.
You almost borrow from like different, yeah. Yeah,
like Tarkovsky taught me a lot about time, and just Harmony gave me a funny like persona that you can get into and shit, and like,
it becomes a
like, dude, yeah, it's so cool. These people are like, it's like rappers, like each person is like a mentor, dude. And you're like,
well, if you can't, like, I don't know,
through their craft.
We don't have mentors per se. Like, I would love.
I mean, like mentors that like,
I know, but like
in your artistic like consumer.
When you sit down and make a song, you're like, oh, well, these drums kind of sound like. You know, this artist or whatever, I've got, you know, this rhythm and this kind of flow. I think music is very similar. So like you're taking pieces from influences of many different things.
Yeah, and making beats also helped me so much in like figuring out how to like think of like movies. You know what I mean? Or like writing too. Like that making beats is just.
It's kind of structured in a way.
It's so structured. You put in ingredients, right?
Yeah.
And then, but like because I made a lot of beats. You've made a lot of beats. Like every beat that you make, it's always like its own journey. Like you don't. Is there a specific way in which you start making a beat?
Right. No.
No. Yeah. Same here. So it's like things like that. Like.
But at the same time, like you have to work within the rules of music. Like you.
Yeah. True.
The song's got to be a certain length. It's got to have a hook.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to say, like or not, like you could.
No, true. That's just like
that's part of the fun. But like at the same time, like that's we can get into DAWs all day. But that's one reason I love Ableton. It's just like a blank music canvas, and you can just go in making whatever you want. And like just start from scratch in a way. But then like once you have a tempo, you're constrained to that tempo.
Mm-hmm.
Like unless you're gonna do a beat switch or like God forbid, go into some math rock. You're not gonna switch up the tempo. Stuff like that, you gotta stay in the same key.
100%.
But that's I don't know, like writing, like you could write literally anything. Like, but there are rules too. Like you gotta
there are.
Gotta follow the rules of the English language, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
All right, so so you had how much SoundCloud stuff did you have, or how much music did you have before that for the Thrill of It album?
I had a decent amount with Scooby on SoundCloud. Like, probably, I feel like 10 songs maybe. 10 songs. Scooby will check.
I know that, like, that project for the Thrill of It, that 2020 project was kind of like the first, like, inaugural.
Yeah, but, I mean, beats that I've made, I've, like, hundreds.
Well, I think you probably have hundreds more than I do.
But songs,
Yeah, like... Just
maybe even like 20 songs before For the Thrill of It, because I had a few. I had a lot of beats on Scooby's mixtape, and then like a few singles on mine, and then there's all the SoundCloud stuff. Around 20.
Why doesn't Scooby's released some SoundCloud stuff like after he already was with Bangers Only and Spotify? Do you know why? Like we didn't have any sort of like constriction or constraints. In that regard, like, why do you put it up on SoundCloud? Like, not
because he makes a lot. He records a lot of stuff, and like, just he does a lot of like things for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So like, the SoundCloud is things that are just more for fun. I feel, and he wants people to hear,
his production more.
Yeah, or just like,
yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't consider that like his main Scooby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to Ranyar about this.
But I don't know, it's his own artistic.
Yeah, like I started on SoundCloud too, and like there's a point where like we just decided to get together and like have a DistroKid account at one point. But before that it was like it's free to put out music on SoundCloud. And I was talking to Ranyar about this. Mine sucked. Like my first several songs were just unlistenable bad. Like, you know, I try, they were catchy or whatever, but like I didn't really grasp onto anything until like I was 20, 30 songs in, and I was probably up working on Octane in 2019, and like we were already like we had already made like so much shit together. There, I can't tell you how much shit is like a one verse on your beat in an Ableton file that's just on my computer. And
really?
It's just like not finished.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like after this we're just gonna start working on music. Like,
I know, I feel that.
Thrill drove down here from the burbs, and like we're We're just gonna work on the album.
Yeah, I haven't really been in the music game lately because like my main mission is the film grind, and that's also like such a like an insane like fucking spiritual mission that I'm on, bro. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, music can be the same. But,
yeah, true. That's not what it is to me. You know. Yeah. So it's like music for you, I guess. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I think it's similar. But anyway, so Thrill is actually, I guess you could call it executive producer on my new project that I'm working on. I'm gonna steal several beats and collaborate in multiple ways with him. We're already working on some stuff, but I just wanted to bring your like sonic like aura, like your 808s and like your drums to some of these tracks, because it's just gonna make it like.
And that's just how my beats have been recently, because I don't make much. Like it's when it comes out, it's like a hard. Yeah. 808s are harder than ever,
dude. It's crazy because
harder
like,
than ever.
You do things with your 808s that I try to do.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And like I don't consider my 808s all that great. Like I'm definitely trying to work on my bass and my percussion, but I don't know if it's your tone selection or like just your patterns. I don't know what it is, but like it's one of a kind.
Yeah, that's what it is supposed to be like. Just cause that's what it is, like just its own thing. Like I don't know.
So I don't know. We're gonna be working on this album here, but I also have another project that's like actually a hip hop album. Like this next project is probably gonna be like industrial. I have this, it's gonna be a spiritual project. This other project I'm working on, and I also want you involved on it. It's more like just step back to like just the hip hop rap and just be like, hey, I'm rapping.
Yeah. Yeah, just.
But the same concept,
sincere.
like same energy kind of.
Yeah.
Posted in my pad with a chopstick, run around town.
What's up? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
You can roll that shit. And I got my shorts dipping out like some god shit. Posted in my pad with a chopstick.
Just gonna run it back. Okay. This one is Cod Shit. Real quick. Lost Vibrations album.
Yeah, it's about just like when you're playing COD and you're just like killing people. You know what I mean? Like in the video game, that shit's just like. You know what I mean, dude? I mean, it's just like you get into when you're on COD shit, you're like on a kill streak. You know what I mean? Like you have some fire that you're just like inside of you.
This will launch you into a kill streak. Like this will make
not
you
actually killing people, but like
this will make you vibe so hard.
Yeah, or just like feeling yourself in that way, like the energy. Yeah.
All my homies, we on top of that mosh pit. We don't talk no kind, they take that bots and that nonsense. Oh no, on tight, how it goes, my life. I got nothing but my town and my conscience. Now you wanna get me back for that toxic, yeah, you can never know how these guys ever blow. All these vibes, fucking know, yeah, my life. Nevermore, we were there on the scene, never asking for a hoe, popping a bean, for the low, for the low, yeah, for the low. You don't wanna love me, find it all in your dreams. I don't wanna see you till you get in my scenes. So me a real tight like I'm all in your
Mr. Thrillhouse. Back for another round. We got part 2 of the second ever podcast that I'm doing here. Welcome back. We don't know where we're calling it. We don't know we do know where we are. North Side of Chicago, broadcasting live. Not really. I'm thinking about Twitch, but I'm not fully committed yet. We got Thrillhouse in the building, fellow creative, fellow producer. As we were talking about just like our different influences and our different things that get us kind of in the right mode. I actually wanted to ask, like, where do you think the crossover in like music and gaming is? Because you obviously have your fair share of like favorite games. I don't know if you grew up like on the computer, or Xbox, or whatever, but like,
Yeah.
where do you like? Obviously, I've seen it in like even like your artwork and your like your digital drawings and shit. Like,
Yeah.
just like Minecraft influence and stuff like that. Like, where do you think that? Obviously, they're similar, but dive into that a little bit.
To games and music?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess, like, most people are, like, kind of grown up on games, whatever their path is. Like, you know, like, some people are into, like, League of Legends that are, like, addicted to it. Some people are just, like, into sports games. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's me. I'm a sports gamer.
Yeah. So, like, everybody... So, I was really into COD and, like... Dude, Minecraft, obviously. Lego Star Wars. But I just like the vibe of it all.
Do you
the
think
playful
it's,
vibe.
like,
It's a cool aesthetic, I guess.
I get, like, sort of recreational, like, vibe out of, like, making music sometimes. Like, I have a lot of fun with it. Do you think it's the same sort of release as playing like a video game, or do you think it taps into kind of a different thing?
It's definitely, I always like compare it to playing a video game, because it's a video. I was thinking about this on the way, actually. It's a video game that you can be creative with, because it's like instantly gratifying, you know. So
it's like the ultimate sandbox. Yeah,
because we always want, or at least me as a creative person, because I know you talked about that in the last podcast with like Ranyar and stuff, and you know, you want something that's instantly gratifying, and you always like are looking for a game or something, or at least I was like looking for a game that's like a creative game, like Minecraft, I guess.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like music, video game, make your own.
Yeah.
So that's how I did it. That's how I played it. Like, I would just be sitting around on my laptop doing that. But yeah, I guess, yeah.
Do you ever think you would, I don't know, it's kind of far-fetched for either of us, but do you ever think you would script? Do you ever think you would score movies or videos?
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely on my radar. I probably will with my shorts. Like
okay.
Or where I'll have to be an auteur. Like, I would have to, which I'm planning on, like, you know, being the editor, writer, director, doing the score, because that's kind of what you have to do at the time.
Yeah.
So, or what I would want to
I've thought about it. Like, I think I'm decent, like, at making digital stuff. Well, like, I would have to be so, like, I would have to know my ins and outs of, like, engineering, too. And probably know Pro Tools and stuff. But, like, that'd be a sick job. Like, that'd be so dope.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of big budget films are, like, almost like a classical influence on, like, whoever's script or, you know, scoring the movie, because, like, there's so much, like, strings and, like, symphony stuff in like a regular movie, or like a horror movie. You're always gonna have like a string section.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like much hip hop or like trap, but like that doesn't. We're not constrained to just the music we want to make here. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's such a cinematic quality to strings. Like, that's, and it always hits. But yeah, like if we had like some synth soundtracks to movies or something. You know, even though we do, that's some fire stuff that I like.
Yeah, I guess. What games are you playing right now?
Dude, I just got Elden Ring. I've been running that up.
Okay.
Just killed a few bosses. I love it. It's like such an adventure.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have the PS4, and I'm like a big sports game guy. Like, I love FIFA.
Dude, yeah.
2K, but yeah, I was a big COD guy as well. For me, like, that whole Lost Vibrations project to me is like game music, in a way.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's like a fusion between like game music and like playing your life through a video game, and at the same time like party, like hip hop vibes, like current.
I see that.
Current stuff. You're a visionary. You're a philosopher, I would say, almost.
For sure.
Where do you think art and I mean, you could call this the information age, you could call this, you know, the hip hop era, the trap is kind of taken over, hip hop's kind of taken over. And you can kind of see that across like fashion and movies and stuff. Where do you think all this is headed? Do you think hip hop is here to stay? Do you think You think EDM's going to make a comeback? What are your thoughts on that? And where do you think this whole thing is going?
On like everything combined?
Yeah, everything. Let's get your macroeconomic trend study. But yeah.
I bet it'll be just like, dude, I don't know. I don't think there's like one specific thing that it becomes.
Well, here,
like
so like if I asked you
like,
10
yeah.
15 years ago if like hip hop and rap would be king, like maybe you would have said no. Right?
Yeah,
maybe
true.
You would've said
True,
no.
true, true.
Like
I guess
I'm
EDM,
not asking you to make like crazy predictions, but like
yeah.
Do you think trap music itself, like this very generic trap, is here to stay? Because I don't know if I do.
No, 100%. It's gonna evolve, and I think all of it is like kind of heading towards something more, that's like more, like I said, immediately gratifying because people have, show because the attention span is so low right now, and like that's just how we're like
with these 2-minute songs and like
just like how we are as humans. Like that's just how it like there's no shame in that. We shouldn't feel any shame. That's just how we're like literally being designed to be right now. So like that, like when I think of movies, right, I think of it more like TikToks, like as in the quickness of it or the pace of it, and like the amount of like how just like immediately like gratified, or like anime, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because like anime is very just like energetic, So I see that in also like with EDM coming up, because I feel EDM is definitely coming up right now. Oh, absolutely. And like hyperpop type style.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, all that is super just like super fast and like in your face. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah,
I was gonna say like the hyperpop element of like the speed of it and like just the poppiness of it. I think that's like a big deal. Like I heard like this EDM artist, I can't remember what it was, just some YouTube video, but it was a great like hyper pop beat that he made, and I was like, wow, like I've heard Trippy get into kind of like the rage beats and like stuff like that, but I don't know. I think that's kind of similar. That's probably what's here to stay. Is like just the hip hop drums, hip hop 808s. Like people love 808s.
Yeah.
Like 808s are here to stay, but like I think pop and like hip hop are gonna kind of like merge together.
Some fast-paced like
people don't have the attention spans for the boom bap. Like, they just don't.
Yeah, true. I don't really.
Yeah, but but at the same time, like it's not genre specific. I think there's genres that not genres. There are songs and albums that are timeless. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like no matter what genre they are. Like there's great music out there, hip hop, rock, jazz, classical. You name it all. Yeah. And there's music out there that just people are going to listen to in 10, 20, 30 years. Like, and there's plenty of hip hop out there that's going to be big. And like I guess what I'm saying is like what makes music timeless? What do you think musically or just emotionally, what do you think it is?
Well, I mean, I feel like structurally, like speaking like tempos and like structures of songs and like the idea of like melody and chorus, like the idea that there's like sheet music where that music is like a craft and a form, but then there's also like the feeling of music, which that is what I feel like changes. So I don't know, man. Like I think the timeless aspect is the fact that this craft of like music has been going on for such a long time. You know what I mean? That we can relate to it. We can relate to it because we know what a song is and everything. But like the feeling of it, like
the nostalgia.
Yeah, the feeling of it is what is like set in the time and is what's different.
It's got to be like in touch. With the time. Yeah. Like all my favorite shit, it was so in touch with what I was feeling at the time. Yeah. That's why everyone has a different favorite project.
Yeah, just like memories, like looking back at music and yeah.
A little sick in the crib, I guess. I don't know. But I'm just gonna keep coughing and we're gonna keep rolling here.
Yeah. Let's keep bouncing.
But yeah, so and you can say it about certain albums. Like I feel like certain projects, certain labels will like pump up artists to do like a bunch of songs, and they'll come out with like a 20-song album and a deluxe, and it'll be like, well, like, were you just making this music for a bag, or like, or like, was this art meant to be viewed like for the rest of history? You know what I mean? I feel like there's so many artists out there that just don't put time into the art at all.
Mm-mm.
I think that's what's gonna make music last, is like the shit that people were doing it.
The actual passion.
Yeah. The art of it.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Just the raw interpretation of what it's gonna sound like to another person.
That's it. Yeah. So timeless music is that at the time.
Yeah. So I think it's twofold. Like, it's what individuals think about it at the time it came out, and where they were when they were enjoying it, and just what the artist puts in at an artistic and creative level.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that covers it pretty good.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think? I don't know. I'm just doing this for the first time, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring in a quick current event news flash. We just got word that Elon Musk has purchased Twitter at a hefty bag, $44 billion. Thrillhouse, what does this mean for Twitter? What does this mean for social media, free speech? I heard he's taking the public company private, wants to clean things up at Twitter. What are our thoughts about that?
Has he actually bought it yet, though?
Yeah, he bought it. Yeah.
Okay.
I just came up over the... Yeah.
Dude, I mean, unless he has... I've just been thinking, like, he needs to gain my trust. Like, I don't trust him. You know what I mean? Because unless he has, like a written document agenda or something, like saying how exactly he's gonna bring free speech back. Yeah. And and why we should trust him. Like, I think we shouldn't be like just trusting him because he's a shit poster. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. I think like. But I mean that comes back to fucking like. The idea of is like Twitter free speech right now like working, or like I mean should Twitter be upholding like free speech, like the law, like what does that law mean, and like
where the law
and are they doing it, you know? I don't know, because I feel like that's so opinionated, and I feel like the only like dude I think like about, because it's also about technology, right? So this is we're not stopping with technology. I think really like in the future, right? We're not stopping. It's an exponential increase, right? Yeah. And Twitter is just another form of that. So, you know, are these technologies going to be in the hands of all of us, or are they going to be the hands of one person? Yeah. Is it going to be decentralized, right? Or like centralized? It's all that type of stuff. And I see it like there's only two ways: decentralized or centralized. So. Centralized means it's gonna be like dystopia. So, so like, you know, no free, or I mean, there's the Ministry of Truth, whatever. Like that was trending on Twitter. Like, you know, the Ministry of Truth. That's like a dystopian idea because we have to be there, right? Because the other option would be chaos. Everybody has these powers, right? Right. And the technology is getting so crazy that that's just literally that means we're going to like. Fucking like destroy the world.
I think like so, I think you have
that's how big picture it is to me.
Well, you have to regulate it in some way. Like you have to regulate it at some level. Just
yeah.
I don't know anyone who's going to argue that you can completely just let everyone run hog wild on it.
Yeah.
But, like at the same time. Like,
so do we accept our leader, or do we just like make it so there's no leader and we're all like just running about? Okay.
Yeah, I think Twitter was a dump. Like Twitter was pretty much a dump before. Like, everyone knew it was kind of just a wasteland for bickering and just crap, but it gives me a little bit of faith. But at the same time, like he owns it. Like he could basically, he's gonna take it private. He's gonna do whatever he wants. Yeah. And I don't know this guy either. Like $250 whatever billion later, like he's still just a guy. Like he, you know.
Yeah, I mean he's
in with the lobbyists. Like
he needs to earn our trust, you know. So I don't think he's really trying.
Yeah. It's an interesting situation.
Yeah, but I don't know. The world's so crazy, dude. Like,
it's bonkers, dude.
Yeah, and I generally don't like know how I feel about Twitter's actions and like what that means to free speech. You know, I think it's so interpretive.
I heard.
And but I know that the whole Joe Biden laptop thing. I disagree with that. I guess like because I heard that.
Disagree with what?
There were if that was actually Twitter. See, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like the controversies that people talk about of Twitter censorship.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Well,
like that's so opinionated both sides.
I mean, a bunch of people hate it. Like I know a bunch of people at the top at Twitter were gonna leave and shit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a fallout going on, but yeah.
I don't know if Elon would be any better.
Yeah.
You know, so
I don't know. I think it was run pretty terribly, but
yeah.
At the same time, like shit's crazy. Like
yeah, I mean the world is just
the
crazy.
world is crazy. Like I saw the Dow Jones was down 1,000 points on Friday or whatever. Like,
oh really? Yeah.
I don't know. It's Thursday or Friday, but like.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah.
Shit's going crazy, but that's the world we live in.
Dude, yeah, just Elon in his tweets. That's what's really like crazy.
Yeah.
Like with his tweets, like he's someone like Trump or like Kanye
People just cling to him.
Well, yeah, and like when they tweet, it's such a shock. It's like always really like shocking, kind of like oh my god, this person said something like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I honestly think it's like the world's at like a tipping point. Like I think
100%, bro. Dude, the world is
shit
collapsing.
Is getting so crazy, but I don't mean to sound like a Chicken Little over here.
Nah, bro.
Anyway, we're gonna jump into this or that, my version of a lightning round. It's very original, but I'm just gonna give you two things back to back next to each other. You're gonna tell me which one you prefer. No time limit. Just we'll dive right in. Thrill, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So first up, we got kicks or 808s.
Dude, 808s.
808s. Okay. Claps or snares.
Snares.
Snares. Okay. Taco Bell or Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Coke or Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Interesting.
Actually, no Coke, dude.
Coke, you think so?
Yeah.
All right. Kanye West or Pete Davidson?
Dude, yay.
Yay, Kanye. Okay. Right on. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Got
my PlayStation shirt on right now.
Oh shit, he does.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Dude, get that for the camera. Ooh. That is hard, dude. You're gonna need to tell me where you got that.
Kohl's.
For sure. All right, I'm gonna make a Kohl's run.
Yeah, it's nice.
Tomorrow night.
It's nice. All right,
and we'll keep it going. Post Malone or Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber.
Home Depot or Lowe's?
Home Depot.
Bape or Supreme?
Preem.
Okay. How do you like your eggs? Over easy, medium, hard, scrambled?
Scrambled.
All right. And this is a classic. Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
Nickelodeon.
Hell fucking yeah. This is why it's my brother right here. Thrillhouse, always a pleasure. Do you want to wrap it up right now? Is there anything else you wanted to cover? I think this is going to about do it. If
dude, just like
music's coming.
Yeah, music will be on its way whenever it is. Just keep up with me however you can. I'm gonna be popping off soon.
We're gonna put his socials right here. And then all the music we played and etc. in the description. Had to get that one clearly said. But thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, Thrill. Until next time, I'm sure we'll have you back. Thank you, Isaac, our producer, and we're rolling on out of here. Have a good night, everybody.